May 26. Living in London, specifically a shoebox in Hackney that smells like damp wool and desperation. Art history degree from a uni that sounds prestigious, but let pretty much anyone in with a pulse and a checkbook. Working as a gallery assistant in Mayfair. Fancy title for door opener and Prosecco pourer for rich Russians and tourists. Making 26K a year in a city where a sandwich costs £12. Spend 80% of my paycheck on rent, and the other 20% on Zara dupes of the row to look the part. Constantly surrounded by wealth I can't touch. Old men with Patek Philippe's, wives with skin that looks like it's never seen a cloudy day. I hate them. I want to be them. Enter Julian. Tuesday afternoon, gallery is dead. Guy walks in looking like he got lost on the way to a hiking trail. Barber jacket with a rip in the sleeve, muddy boots, hair a bit too long. Staring intently at a mediocre abstract piece priced at £45,000. I put on my best customer service smile. The one that says, I am approachable but better than you. Walk over. Incredible texture, isn't it? The artist was exploring the duality of urban decay. Total BS, I made it up on the spot. He looks at me, blue eyes, sharp jawline hidden under a week of scruff. Actually, I was thinking it looks like a tea towel my grandmother ruined in 1998. I laugh, a genuine, ugly snort laugh. He smiles. We talk for an hour. He's not a buyer, he's not in finance, he's not in tech. I work in agriculture, he says. My heart sinks a little. Farmer great, but he's funny, charming, and has a voice like melted chocolate. He asks me for a drink. I say yes because I'm bored and he's hot in a rugged, I build my own furniture kind of way. We go to pubs, not a wine bar, a pubs. He buys me a Guinness. 3 dates later, I find out agriculture was an understatement. We're at his flat in Kensington. Not a flat, a townhouse. 4 stories, white stucco, Chesham Place. I walk in and almost trip over a casual mattis hanging in the hall. I thought you were a farmer, I whispered. I am, he says, pouring vintage Barolo into crystal glasses. My family grows grapes. Google him in the bathrooms. Julian de Rossi, heir to the Castello di Rossi estate in Tuscany. Family has been making wine since the Medici era. Net worth undisclosed, which means infinite. The ripped jacket wasn't poverty. It was, I have so much money, I literally do not care what fabric covers my body. I engage tactical modes. Shift my persona immediately. Less city girl hustle, more cottagecore intellectual. I start reading books on viticulture. Stop wearing heavy makeup. Start posting stories of organic sourdough and misty mornings. 6 months later, my lease in Hackney is up. I'm complaining about the mold in my bathroom. Julian looks up from his newspaper. He reads physical newspapers. Pack your bags, we're going to Italy for the harvest. Stay as long as you like. I quit my job via email at 3 a.m. Effective immediately, I am pursuing personal growth. We fly private. Not a jet, a turboprop his family owns. Land in Florence, drive 2 hours into the hills. The gates open. It's not a house. It's a literal medieval village on top of a hill. 300 acres of vines, olive groves, a 12th century castle, and a main villa that makes Downton Abbey look like a council flat. Staff waiting on the steps. Buongiorno, Signor Julian, buongiorno, Signorina. I am the Signorina. I have arrived. First month is a blur of bliss. Waking up at 11 a.m. to sunlight hitting frescoes on the ceiling. Breakfast on the terrace overlooking the valley. Julian is busy working in the vineyards all day. He actually works. Hands in the dirt, checking grapes, arguing with the cellar master in rapid-fire Italian. I wander the halls taking photos. My Instagram blows up. From 2K followers to 15K in weeks. Living the Tuscan dream. Villa life. Quiet luxury. I start styling myself as the lady of the manor. Ordering linen dresses, oversized straw hats, vintage sandals. Julian gives me a credit card for household expenses. I use it to buy a £3,000 antique mirror for the guest room because the old one had bad vibes. He doesn't notice. Life is perfect. But then the quiet sets in. It's really quiet. Nearest town is 20 minutes away and it's full of old people. Julian is exhausted every night. Comes home, eats pasta, falls asleep by 9:30. I'm wide awake scrolling TikTok. I start feeling underutilized. I have a degree in art history, I have taste, I have vision. This place is dusty, it's old, it's stuck in the past. The furniture is heavy dark wood, the curtains are velvet. It needs a refresh. It needs to be Instagrammable. I start small. Move some heavy statues to the storage barn. Replace the heavy drapes with airy white linen. Julian comes home, looks around. Where is the bust of my great-grandfather? Oh, it was blocking the light, babe. Doesn't this feel more open? He sighs, rubs his temples. Just don't move the paintings, okay? They're insured for more than the car. I nod, but I'm thinking he just doesn't see the potential. I start inviting friends from London. Chloe and Tasha. They're content creators. They fly out, I pay for their flights on the card, categorize it as travel. They scream when they see the place. OMG babe, this is insane, you literally won life. We spent a week doing photo shoots in the vineyard, trampling a few rows of Sangiovese grapes to get the perfect golden hour shot. Julian catches us. He loses it. Those vines are 60 years old. You can't just walk on the root systems in heels. I roll my eyes. Relax, Julian, it's just a few grapes. Do you know how much exposure this tag is getting you? Tasha has 500k followers. He stares at me like I'm speaking alien. We sell wine to collectors in Hong Kong and New York. I don't care about Tasha's followers. He walks away. Tasha whispers he's so toxic. He's trying to control your creativity. I start to believe her. Why am I just the girlfriend? I should be a partner. I start brainstorming business ideas. The estate is losing money on the old ways. I decide based on zero evidence. We need to pivot. Wedding venue, luxury retreats, merch. I mock up a pitch deck. Castello di Rossi reimagined. I pitch it to him over dinner. White tablecloths, candles, silence. I talk about brand synergy and monetizing the heritage. I talk about painting the library white to make it a brighter event space. He stops eating, puts his fork down gently. You want to paint the libraries? Yes, that dark walnut is so depressing, white would pop on camera. That walnut was carved by hand in 1740. It is protected by the Italian Heritage Trust. We could get around that, I know a guys. He looks at me with something new in his eyes. Disappointment, boredom. No, the answer is no. This is a working farm, not a backdrop for your phone. You're being narrow-minded. You're sitting on a gold mine and you're just growing grapes like a peasant. The word hangs in the air. Peasant. His family built this region. They funded cathedrals. He takes a sip of wine. We are finished discussing this. He goes to the study, locks the door. I'm fuming. Call Tasha, we hold a war council on FaceTime. He's gaslighting you, Tasha says, applying a face mask. He's threatened by your modern perspective. You need to show him it works. Just do it. Do what? Throw the event, prove the concept. Once he sees the money and the press, he'll thank you. It makes sense. Men always need to be shown the way. Julian is going to a wine fair in Verona for 3 days next month. Perfect. I contact a party planner in Florence. The Rossi Summer Solstice Gala. I promise them full access. I invite influencers, local press, D-list celebrities. I hire a DJ. I hire a caterer, vegan, gluten-free, aesthetic. Cost 45,000 euros. I put it on the card. He never checks the statements until the end of the month. I decide the main hall needs to be lightened up for the party. I can't paint the woods, he'd kill me. But I can curate the space. I order movers to take out the antique rugs, the heavy tapestries, the ancestral portraits. Replace them with rented beige balcony sofas and neon signs that say VIBES and LA Dolce Vita. It looks incredible, modern, chic. The day of the party arrives. Julian is still in Verona. Guests start arriving at 6 p.m. Bass is thumping. Champagne is flowing, not Rossi wine. I bought Moet because the label looks better. People are vaping in the 14th century courtyard. Drone cameras buzzing overhead. I'm wearing a 4,000 pounds dress, holding court. Everyone is telling me I'm a genius. This place was so dusty before, you've really elevated it. I feel vindicated. I feel powerful. At 10 p.m. the gate buzzers go off. I think it's more guests. It's a black Range Rover. Julian. He wasn't supposed to be back until tomorrow. The music stops as the car crunches over the gravel. He steps out, still in his suit from the fair. He looks around, sees the neon sign next to the family crest, sees a guy ashing a cigarette in a 500-year-old stone planter, sees the Moet bottles. He doesn't scream. He walks up to the DJ booths, pulls the plug, literal silence. Get out. He says it quietly, but it carries across the courtyard. Everyone get off my property, now. People start murmuring, who is this buzzkill? I run over, laughing nervously. Babe, you're back early, surprise, look, it's a launch party. He looks at me. I will never forget that look. It wasn't anger, it was total, absolute coldness. Like I was a stranger, like I was an intruder. Who authorized this? I did. For us, look at the engagement numbers, we're trending in Milan. You moved the tapestries. They were old, they smelled. Those tapestries were gifts from the Pope to my ancestor. Well, the Pope has terrible taste in interior design. I tried to make a joke, diffuse the tension. He didn't blink. He turns to the head of security, who I had distracted with free food. Clear the grounds. If they aren't gone in 10 minutes, call the carabinieri. The party dissolves in chaos. Influencers scrambling for Ubers in the middle of the Tuscan countryside. Tasha live streams the eviction. We are literally being hate crimed by a toxic male right now. I stand there shivering in my dress. Julian walks past me into the house. I follow him. You humiliated me in front of my network. He's in the library, checking the wood paneling for scratches. You put a neon sign on the fresco. It's removable adhesive. God, you're such a drama queen. Do you know how much money I just wasted because you threw a tantrum? He turns around. You used my card. Our card, we're partners. We are not partners, we are barely dating. And as of 5 minutes ago, we are nothing. My stomach drops. What? You have until morning to pack. I'll have the driver take you to the airport. You can't kick me out, I live here, I have rights. You are a guest who disrespected my home, my family, and my history. I was trying to help you, you're drowning in debt. We had our best year in a decade, I just don't flash it on Instagram. The realization hits me. He wasn't broke, he was just classy. I start crying, the weapon of last resort. Julian, please, I got carried away, I just wanted to fit in. I wanted to be worthy of this place. You don't fit in because you don't care about this place. You care about how you look in it. That's not true, I love the grapes and the winemaking. Name one grape varietal we grow besides Sangiovese. Silent. I rack my brain, Pinot Grigio, Merlot. Cabernet, I guess. We grow native Tuscan varietals. Canaiolo and Colorino, you've been here 8 months and you learned nothing. He walks to the door. Sleep in the guest room. The driver leaves at 8 a.m. Don't take anything that isn't yours. He locks his bedroom door. I scream at the wood. I throw a vase modern IKEA at the wall. Next morning, I pack my bags. 4 suitcases now filled with clothes I bought on his dime. I wait for him to come say goodbye, to apologize, to say he overreacted and he loves me. He never comes down. The housekeeper Maria watches me with stone-cold eyes. She hands me an envelope. Cash 2,000 euros. Signor Julian says this is for your flight and transition. He blocked your number. I get in the car. As we drive down the cypress-lined avenue, I see Julian in the vineyard. He's walking with a woman. She's wearing muddy boots, jeans, a flannel shirt. She's pointing at a vine holding a notebook. He's listening to her intently. He doesn't look up as the car passes. Back in London, reality hits like a wet brick. No job, no flat, no Julian. I crash on Tasha's couch for a week until she kicks me out because my negative energy is affecting her content. I have to move back in with my parents in Leeds. My room is exactly how I left it at 18. Posters of bands I don't listen to anymore. My mom asks what happened to the Italian count. He was abusive, mom, controlling, he wouldn't let me work. I spin the narrative. I post a long caption on Instagram. Black and white photo of me looking out a rainy window. Sometimes you have to walk away from a castle to build your own kingdom. Self-love Phoenix. Comments, yes queen, you dodged a bullet, know your worth. I sell the designer bags on Depop to pay for a deposit on a studio flat in Croydon. It's tiny, the view is a parking lot. I get a job as a receptionist at a dental clinic. 24k pounds a year. The uniform is polyester. 6 months pass. I'm miserable, but I tell myself I'm rebuilding. I unblock Julian on a burner account. Just to see. No posts on his personal account since I left. But I check the Castello di Rossi official page. Post from yesterday. We are proud to announce our new reserve vintage, La Alina. Photo of the bottles. And a photo of the couple. Julian looking cleaner, happier, younger. And the girl from the vineyards. Caption created in partnership with our new head agronomist and fiancée, Alina. Celebrating the roots of our land. I click on her profile. Private 400 followers. Bio soil enthusiast, dog mom. No bikini pics, no influencers, just vines and dirt. I dig deeper. Find a tagged photo from a wine magazine. Alina Rixai, PhD in oenology, saves historic Rossi estate from phylloxera outbreak using organic methods. She didn't paint the library. She saved the fucking vines. She actually helped him. I scroll down to the comments on the winery page. One from Tasha. Congrats guys, looks amazing, smiling face with hard eyes. The betrayal stings more than the poverty. I check my own feed. My engagement is down 60% since I stopped posting Italy content. My Phoenix era is flopping. I look around my flat. Beige walls, IKEA furniture, fake plant. I have a date tonight with a guy from Hinge. He's a consultant. He wants to take me to Nando's. I look at the photo of Julian and Alina one last time. They're laughing, not posing, just laughing. He's looking at her like she's the only person in the world. He never looked at me like that. Even when I was dressed in 5,000 pounds of silk, I realized sitting in the glow of my laptop screen, eating cold toast. I wasn't the victim. I was the invasive species. And the estate just pruned me out. Close laptop. Put on my polyester uniform. Go to work.